Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the 2018 Oris Aquis Small Second Green Ceramic, a 46mm stainless steel dive watch with intelligent, high-value design. And this watch is feature dense. It feels like a timepiece costing 2 or 3 times as much its retail price. But at 46mm, they certainly don't short you steel. It's not as thick as you might expect at 15.6mm thick, and lug-to-lug, it is a wearable watch, though 54.2 you can see just how short-cropped and dramatically downturned those stub lugs are. This is an easy watch to wear on a small wrist, and I would even endorse it for wrists as small as 14.5 centimeters circumference. That is, it will fit on wrists that small. The timepiece, let's back up a little bit, afford ourselves some more light, incorporates a proprietary lug junction, so you're not going to be accessorizing with anything that's not an Oris factory strap or bracelet, but there should be no reason to change as the Oris piece is spectacular. It's tapered to match the swell of the lug, so there's a highly integrated look. You can see it's fixed with screws, not spring bars. That's the right way to build a high-value sports watch. It's also tapered in profile, thinning out as it moves away from the case, with a hollow on the underside to vent the wrist and also promote flexibility. Natural vulcanized rubber. This one happens to be vanilla scented, which I absolutely adore. A high-grade trigger-actuated deploying clasp. A few features that deserve a shout-out here. First, there is a trigger-actuated micrometric adjustment system. So although this is a cuttable strap, and you can see there are several different increments that allow cutting for proper sizing, nevertheless, you do have that roughly 3/4 of an inch of incremental sizing that can be performed with nothing but the slider. The twin triggers ensuring this one can't pop open accidentally, and you'll appreciate the fact that there is a minderless system. So all excess strap length is tucked underneath the clasp, so there's no excess length flapping in the breeze, and there's no need for minder loops on the strap itself, so it's a very clean look. Also appreciate the combination of polish, satin finish, and engine turning, all on the same steel clasp. The case is relatively simple, but you can see that this is not the Diver's 65. It's a bit more industrial, it's a bit more brutal in its lines, modern in its proportions and details. The crown guards are fixed with screws, so if they do get damaged while protecting the crown from shearing, they can individually be removed and replaced with intact units. The combination of polish and satin is handsome, and it does help to break up the mass of the metal, and you'll note there's a distinct step between the lugs and the caseband, once again just to break up the sheer amount of metal and prevent it from looking like a monolith. I appreciate the contrast between the satin flanks and the polish of the underside of the bezel, and the bezel deserves a shout out because it's a wonderful piece. Let's move out a bit and demonstrate the bezel. It has a satisfying chunky detent to it. The ceramic green inlay is scratch resistant, effectively as scratch resistant as sapphire, so this watch is going to age gracefully. The knurling is deep enough and sharp enough that you will be able to grip it with wet, sweaty, or gloved hands. You can line up the luminescent index, and now you have an impromptu 0 to 60-minute timer. Dive bezel, always my preference over a conventional chronograph. A gray dial with a sort of matte metallic finish and a sunken register for constant seconds with a counterbalanced hand. All applique indices, a high quality touch that I appreciate on Oris watches. They are entry-level luxury, but they don't feel that way. The crown oversized and deeply knurled for easy gripping. Quick set date, Oris's own modification for a small second display on an SW220 caliber. So you have the quick set date, the hacking seconds, automatic winding, bidirectional, 28.8 beat rate. You have a 38-hour power reserve, 500-meter water resistance, and you can see that there is a meters to feet conversion table on the case back. This is a watch that brings the value. An everyday sports watch that, should you be so inclined, could also be your everyday office watch. It's a tough customer, highly scratch resistant, water resistant, shock resistant, and thanks to a style that is more sporting than perhaps period oriented, it feels like a sports style that will endure in any era. This might even be a timeless design. Big and bold, yes, but also designed for the long haul. If you're a fan of the 1970s aesthetic of giant sports-oriented watches like the original Seamaster 600 Ploprof, then you can see yourself being very happy in a relationship with this watch into the distant future. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox. Oris Aquis Small Second. Green by day, green by night.